All right, CS Scheduling app members. Hopefully, this three-part series will act as a visual aid for getting set up, getting the back end running, the front end running, talking to the back end through the front end, or from the front end, and common errors or pitfalls that can happen when using the back end. There's not many, but there are a few. They're not errors; they're more just like pitfalls. It's intentional behavior. Anyway, so first things first, we got to go to GitHub. Hopefully at this point you have access. So you're going to go to organizations, you're going to MTU hide, CS scheduling app. For right now, this is how the main branch will look like, but in the very near future, it will look something along these lines. I need to fix that. That's fine. So you're going to git clone. I'm going to do it inside here. So git clone. One thing that can happen is this might say invalid credentials, so you can look up get config, email, password. This, I think. So you want to do this. And that should be good, maybe. I don't know. And then it'll ask you for like your GitHub. It'll probably like sign you in through something else. Through like the website or something. It'll say like redirecting you to the website, sign in, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Anyways, cd into this. Okay. I'm going to do a code dot, which just opens up VS Code in that directory. So now we have the project, except for, I think, okay, so this is the main branch. So you don't have to do this. You might have to do this, but in the future, you won't have to do this. So you're going to do a get checkout. That looks right, probably. So this is just checking out to the other branch. So everything just changed. Cool. While I'm here, no, that's fine. Okay, so cool. So you're going to follow these instructions. I do recommend getting Goland. That's what I'm going to be using moving forward. It's free for students and it's useful. It gives you a lot of like Golang IntelliSense. If that makes sense. Cool. So first things first, you're going to install Go. If you're on Windows, you're going to do that by just clicking this button here and downloading the MSI. If you're on Mac, you're going to do the same type of shenanigans. You're going to download this PTK. Oh, right here. Cool. You just download these. These top ones are what you want. Great. That's getting going. I've already have it, so I'm not going to do it, but that's cool. Docker is very similar, also an easy thing. There is, so you can just download Docker for whatever you have. There is a little bit of a trick, I guess, when it comes to Docker. So if you have an AMD CPU and you have Windows and your computer is older than like 2020 or something, you might have to enable virtualization in the BIOS. If you do have to do that, there is not really a great way or a tutorial to explain how to do that. It's pretty easy. So you just go to open your BIOS, and it should be like enable virtualization will be one of the very few things or first things that you see, if not in another tab. But that's something you're going to have to do on your own, or you can come in and we'll help you out with that. Once you download Docker, you're going to have something called Docker Desktop. which looks like this. You won't have any of these for right now, but yeah. So then you're going to install Node. Node is same thing, like you pick your thing and you just install it. Cool. Docker, if you're on Windows, will probably make you restart, just to give you a heads up. Oh wow. Okay. So if it's merged, that means that I can actually just go to, I can now just go to git checkout name and git pull. Okay. Well, that was easy. Okay, so now it's on main. So now you don't even have to worry about that step. And then you have to install PowerShell if you're not on Windows. There's ways to install it, blah, 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 right? You get the idea. Once you have all these dependencies, it's not that many. Once you have these dependencies, you can then go through this database setup. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull the latest MySQL. We should probably lock this to a specific version, but for right now, let's just pull the latest. So you're going to say, okay, Docker pull. It's going to say, all right, let's allow that. And Docker is going to do its thing. Once it's done, we're going to run this command. This command right here. And so Docker is how you're going to set up the database locally. And I'll explain what that means and how that's useful. Give it a second here. We're on school Wi-Fi. Alrighty. Awesome. Okay, so now we can run this. And what that does is inside Docker Desktop, if you look now, you'll be able to see you created a CS scheduling thing. And what we can do is we can either start it from here, or we can just start it from the command. I'm really messing with some stuff here. I'm going to full screen that so it's easier. Yes, then we can start it from here, and it starts, right? So cool. And then it says, okay, go inside Docker Desktop. You'll see a container that says CS Scheduling Local. Click on that container. So click anywhere on this container. Exec. It says exec. And then you're going to type in this. For convenience sake, you can do it here, or you could do it, in the more secure way, I guess, where it doesn't show your password. But I'm terrible at this, so I can't type. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're in MySQL. So the question is, what does that mean? That means that we have like an active database now. So if I create a database here, it'll call test. We can use test, and we say, hey, show tables. We have empty set of tables, but if we're following these steps, we can cd into the backend. We can go mod tidy. We can build the binaries. This is going to be a PowerShell command. So you can build the binaries. The binaries are built, and then you can do a migration up. And what that does is, so there's no confusion, inside here there's something called migrations, and these migrations are all SQL, MySQL, just MySQL, right? So you have like create tables stuff here. Everything that's under the Stoic migration up is ran, and everything below the Stoic migration down is ran only if this thing is down or up, right? Corresponding to that. So up will run all these commands, and you'll notice that these two things got ran. So now if you check the database and do show tables, hey, I have tables. And more specifically, if I do select all from course, I actually have data in here because I inserted these values. So that's kind of cool. One thing to note that for whatever reason, and I can fix this, but for whatever reason, there is a small little pitfall, I guess. You kind of need a space here just because I'm a fool. But it's a simple thing. Just put a space here. Like, yeah, just put a space there. Okay, cool. And so now we can start the backend. Oh, sorry. Start the backend like this. So the backend started. And then cd the front end, npm install. So you take a sec. Okay. npm run start. And to check if we did everything successfully, we can go here, look at the network, and notice that we got our response. It's printing out here. Awesome. Well, hopefully that helped you guys. Thank you so much. We'll be back in the other video.